How worried are you guys about Alabama right now?
Oh, I've been worried about him for weeks. For weeks. They've been playing with fire. They haven't played that well. Now, Brandon Miller had that game at South Carolina, but honestly, this has been a distraction for a long time. They have not played the same for a long time right now. And it was the distraction of Brandon Miller that took it to a higher level. But let's face it, guys. One of their teammates is going to go to jail for a long, long time. Okay? They're seeing professional help now. Most of the players, a lot of the players on that team, because of that, forget about the Brandon Miller part, right? Darius Miles is going to jail. He was their friend. He was their teammate. So they're dealing with processing all that. And then you add the Brandon Miller situation. And oh, by the way, you're going to have to deal with that when you get on the podium at the SEC tournament and the NCAA tournament. These are young kids, a lot of them, that are freshmen. 4 guys on their team are key players, are freshmen. So, yes, I'm very worried about Alabama, and I have been. I just – you could see this coming.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Jeff. I mean, look, traumatic incident, clearly. And obviously the most important thing here is that Jamea Harris lost her life. But, you know, there's been traumatic incidents in other spots. And in a lot of them, one specifically that hits home for me, Michigan State. I mean, that school shut down for a week. We had a lot of time for people to process. Maybe not a lot of time, but there was at least designated time. Alabama was right back at another game. And they're the number 2 team in the country. There hasn't been a moment since this occurred that there's been a pause for anybody to process anything that's happened. I think they're trying to do it on the fly. And man,
just to put
right.
that into context, Greg, really quick, to put that into context, the incident happened at 1:45 a.m. on a Sunday morning, right? The next day, that Monday, they were on a flight to go play a road game at Vanderbilt after they found out that a teammate of theirs was being arrested and charged with a murder. Like that. Yeah. I don't want to make it sound like that's the most important issue here, because it's definitely not. But for the other kids in that locker room and on that team, like that is right. If you're a 19-year-old, that's not an easy thing to deal with, especially when it just goes boom and you're right there and you're expected to perform again. It's insane. Jeff, quickly, I just want to say I've only disagreed with you twice on this entire show. You've said a lot of things. I've agreed with 90% of them. The first was when you gave yourself credit for John Calipari's turnaround. The second here was when you alluded to the fact that the SEC is a league that allows a team like Texas A&M to have the type of season they did. My counterpoint to that, they're 15-3 in the SEC. The SEC is a damn good basketball conference. I know there's a drop-off there, but I point to the Big Ten. You know who hasn't been able to go 15-3 in the Big Ten? Purdue. You know who hasn't been able to go 15-3 in the Pac-12? Arizona. There's teams that are close to the 1 line on our bracketologist seeds list that have not been as good in conference play as Texas A&M. Hey guys, just a reminder, our sponsor for today's episode is Run Your Pool. They are hosting the Field of 68 Bracket Challenge. This year, they are giving away $1,500 in free prizes. It's all an incentive for you to get on there and find out just how good their platform is. I've been using them for my bracket pools for years. I've used them for Super Bowl squares. I use them for everything that I need to use them for. The biggest survivor pool that I'm in for both NFL and NCAA tournament is by Run Your Pool. So go check them out. The link's below. Tap in.